this move. That means Cleveland is on the clock at 5, and Travis Hunter is officially the pick. Harmon, from a fantasy standpoint?
Oh, boy. Now, that is a tough one because, number one, we don't know the allocation of snaps. Like, we don't know the allocation of work. I do think he's going to play a lot of wide receiver. I don't think you go – I mean, the interesting part about this is if he is a cornerback, he's the highest drafted cornerback ever. We've never seen a cornerback go second overall, and he's the highest drafted wide receiver since Calvin Johnson. So again, just to put in perspective how special of a wide receiver he is, that's the type of air he is now holding, and he deserves it. Like, he is an elite receiver prospect to me. Again, we just don't know how much he's going to play on that side of the ball. And not to mention, I think this is good for his development because we've talked about this on Football 301. Like, I think he's an elite separator, but he still needs some work and refinement as a route runner. But he's not going to be counted on to be the number one wide receiver. They already have one of those guys. So from a fantasy standpoint, I love this landing spot for Travis Hunter, but he's not going to be one of these guys that comes in and you're running the whole offense out of him. So you got to keep some level expectations in that standpoint.
We're going to bring in Charles Robinson. Again, if you're just joining us, we're bringing our insiders in remote. Charles, C-Rob didn't even get like a minute of rest. C-Rob, we have the trade. What have you heard here?
So from what I was told, it actually a lot of the groundwork was laid this morning. The two franchises talked this morning. And for the Browns, the real consideration here to be able to move out of that pick, because they really, really like Travis Hunter as a prospect, but they wanted to be able to stack first and second day picks. So to get that additional first round pick from Jacksonville in 2026 really moved the needle. But I think what really sealed it was getting an additional second rounder this year. And I think the motivation here from the Browns, and I mentioned Mason Graham to you before as being a player they really liked. I think that's ultimately where they're going to end up going with the 5th overall pick. And what it will do for them is these are other assets they can continue to spread out. I think Andrew Berry, the general manager, wants to restock the roster with cheap rookie contracts, and it gives them some flexibility when they eventually do move on from Deshaun Watson. They're going to have to take a pretty healthy cap hit when that happens, even having some insurance on him, and they're going to get some salary back if he doesn't play in 2025, but that hasn't happened yet. But it's just really, they know to make up for that Watson mistake, they just have to add a ton of draft capital moving out the next couple of years, and it gives them a little extra flexibility. If they don't like exactly what they have available the rest of this draft from a quarterback standpoint, I do believe they feel like next year's quarterback class could have a little bit more top-end potential than this one.
Thanks, C-Rob. We appreciate it. We'll keep checking in with you. And that next year's quarterback class is something you're going to hear that phrase. Look, if you're drinking with us, don't take a shot every time you hear that, because next year's quarterback class is going to be
it's
fire.
always better.
Garrett Nussmeier, you got Lenora Sellers, you got
Arch Manning.
Arch Manning,
People are already
that guy.
People are already in love. Let's see. I think we've got the reactions in the app coming up here. 70% of the reaction is fire. I don't know what the hell you people want if it's only 70 people. Like, what are the other 30% angry about at this point?
I just envisioned, and Matt, we talked about this so much during the season, was just, oh yeah, the Bucs and their screens. Okay, they're running screens for receivers, then running backs, then it didn't matter, Kate Otten. It didn't matter who was healthy. The screen game was so good. Yes, some of that was the offensive line, shout out, Graham Barton. But also, Liam Cohn now goes to Jacksonville. You know who was awesome on screens? Travis Hunter. Like, absolutely fantastic. He took several to the house. Just unbelievable with the ball in his hands. And also, throughout this whole process, the Jaguars are getting rumored for every which way. Their new regime was having a lot of fun putting rumors out there. And they said the entire time, we want to get an offensive weapon. We want to get an offensive weapon. We want to get an offensive weapon. Well, all right. I think I know where they're kind of leaning a little bit to start out.
Yeah, and it looks like, according to some of what we're seeing on the web, they're going to play him on both sides. They're confidently saying that. By the way, you guys are chiming in on the YouTube comments. Didn't know that Harmon had so many fans.